Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Lesson 10 Part 2 live stream for Quartet. And today's my birthday, so thanks for coming to hang out. Appreciate that. Before we even get started with going into this, I just want to let you guys all know that ToKiniAndy.com for my birthday, and only for my birthday for one day, has a 7-day free trial going. So if you're interested in checking out the website and you never have, now is a good time for it because it's free. Check it out. Make sure you cancel before the trial ends, just in case you don't enjoy it. If you don't find it useful, make sure you cancel it before that time frame is over. But it is free right now, so check that out. Today we're going to be covering part 2 of the lesson 10 grammar, which is Noun wo koeru, Noun wo shimeru, and nagara. Those are the 3 points we're covering tonight. These are the colors we use for all of the grammar points. We have light blue for our grammar points, and all the other colors are for words that haven't shown up in Quartet or Genki yet, and we show you what JLPT level they're on so that you just have an idea of, how common they are. Any word that isn't on the JLPT but is very common, we mark in pink. If you have any general questions tonight about Japanese that aren't based on the section we're covering at that time, make sure you put question before your questions so that we know to answer your question live on stream. If you don't have that, we may not notice it. Most people in chat will probably answer it for you, but if you'd prefer us to answer it for you, that's what you want to go for. For the questions at the end of each section, make sure you put Q time before your answers so that we know to read those out live and correct them for you. So, before we jump into to exceed with Noun wo koeru, let's get Yuki over here to say hello to everyone as well. Thank you so much for stopping by, everyone, to say happy birthday. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
みんなこんにちは。
こんにちは。
ありがとうございます。
The first person here tonight.
はい。
The first person here today was Mary. Omedetou, she says. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Richard, thank you very much. Dashiel it's also Dashiel's birthday today. So let's everyone in chat say happy birthday to Dashiel. He's a hard worker, and I hope he had a good birthday as well. Happy birthday, Dashiel.
ダシエルおめでとう。
Loopy, how's it going? Violin guy, good to see ya. Hualian, welcome to the stream. Felipe, hola, hola. Feliz cumpleaños. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Imofin, thank you very much. Tim, welcome to the stream, and thank you. Zachary also has a birthday in March, so happy early or late birthday. I'm not sure which, but happy birthday. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Thank you, Rainy M. Appreciate that. Arigatou gozaimasu. Kivon L. Happy birthday. Hope you're safe, and I am having fun with your fam. Well, it's just us, but we're having fun indeed. Thank you so much. David says, Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa, David. Thanks for stopping by. Otanjoubi omedetou, says Adam. Thank you. I'm not around N2 yet, but I would like to hang out here because it's your birthday. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll try and keep things simple enough so that people who aren't quite to this point yet can still follow along tonight. Gautam, I love the way that script looks. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I'm N6, but I still listen here. Nice, David. Vi says happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday early, Vi. March birthdays for the win.
ハッピーバースデーだよ。アーリーバースデー。
Arigato, Robert. Yeah, okay. So I think I got everyone there. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. Appreciate that. You like my new shirt? Yuki got it for me.
Yeah.
This is one of my birthday presents. Yeah.
これがなんか動くんですけど。
そうなんだ。ちょっと待って。
ほら。
はい。
すいません。
はい。Okay, that should take care of it.
ありがとうございます。
You can come a little bit more over here.
はい。
All right. Yeah.
どうも。
So today we only have, thank you very much, PB. We only have 3 sections, as we pointed out. So we're going to take it easy since it is, birthday. I'm not going to go too hard. We're not going to fly through these too fast. Going to take it a little bit easy, just chill out. And then, I'll do the lesson portions as usual. Just focus on the lesson until we get to the end, and then we'll answer questions and hang on a little bit more. Hopefully we can have some fun. I really like the color of the shirt. Thank you. Me too. I'm a blue fan, as you can tell from these slides as well.
本当だね。すべてが。
There's a lot of blue. The walls have blue. This is gray, but still, I like blue. Yes. So, and also I mentioned a few minutes ago, but anyone that's here just now, ToKiniAndy.com currently has a free trial. So you can check it out for free for 7 days. And if you're not interested in what you see there, you can cancel before the 7 days are up and never have to pay a penny. So check that out. That's my birthday gift to all of, well, whoever's interested in that. So check it out. Yes, Vanessa. I'm in the March crew as well. Yes. Happy birthday, Dan. Almost. You're in like next week, I think, Dan? I can't remember exactly. I think it's next week. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I sort of forget. And yes, happy birthday, Zach, as well. Thank you, Dan, for the link.
多いね、3
先生は
月。
何がしたの? Today, I played Elder Scrolls Online with my friend from America and Yuki. So the three of us played together. I played with him for the first time in about 6 months or maybe a year. I haven't played a game with him in probably a year almost. So got to play with him and Yuki together. And then we went out to lunch at my favorite Hawaiian burger place. And got a buffalo chicken burger. That was good. And a coffee. And then came back. And Yuki and I played more ESO. No, we filmed the podcast. We filmed the podcast. So we filmed the podcast about my birthday. That's a funny one. That's going to be interesting. So check that out when that comes out next week. And I opened up all my presents and stuff on the podcast live. Not live, but we filmed it. And then I edited that. That took a while. And then we played a little bit of ESO together. Well, then, yes, ESO is fun. We both enjoy it very much. So we played ESO for a little while. And then I got ready for the stream. And that's pretty much it. Oh, we ate cake and stuff as well. Ice cream cake. あの指は結婚していたの? So we actually announced this a couple weeks ago on one of the live streams and in a podcast. Yes, so we got married. We actually got married back in, you gotta cover our faces, back in November. But we didn't get the rings until February, so.
そう、実はね、実は結婚したのバイオリン街。
すげえ。3月生まれの人が多いんですね。So there's a bunch of us. Yeah. Nah, 3-5. Oh, okay, man. So happy late birthday. Sorry, I missed it. Did I miss it?
ごめん。
Sorry. That's a bummer.
Felipe, おめでとう。
Mine was the 4th, says Felipe. Wow, so many March birthdays. That's awesome. Did I miss anything else? I think that's it. Sweet. Happy birthday to the March crew.
あ、しまった。
You guys are awesome.
ダンが3月5日だったのか。
そう、ダンが3月5日。
あ、ダンもごめん。
で、ダシアは今日。で、フリペは4日。So the day before Dan.
で、さっきのさ、
Zachary's the 28th, so he's
そうだよね。
next week. Or into a week and a day, I guess. So next Monday. Monday. Nice. And Vi is on the 29th, so the day after that. And there's a couple other people too, I think, that said they had their birthday in March. But anyway, super cool. I was just about to ask last week if you and your girlfriend, if you are girlfriend and boyfriend. Yeah, no. We're married. We were until
そうなんですよ。
until November, but we're married. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Why don't we?
もうエンディングみたいになってるんですけど、はい。これが。
あ、ありがとう、マイコ。
ありがとう。
ありがとうございます。Definitely not ending. We're just going to jump into the lesson portion of the stream. And of course, during question time, we can all hang out more. So, you ready?
ね。かわいい T シャツだね。
ありがとうございます。奥さんからもらいました。
はい。これから1週間は毎日言いたいと
いや、
思います。
それはね、俺臭すぎるから無理です。3月ギャングよしAlright guys, let's jump into it. I'm going to move over to the other screen. We'll see Yuki for the dialogue. We're continuing the story. We're continuing the story that's taken us like 4 weeks to get through, and we're still not going to finish it tonight because it's turning into like a book. I'm basically writing a book by accident. So, what are you going to do? Alright, let's jump into to exceed with noun を超える. Noun を超える. So, to use this, all you do is you have a noun, usually, not always, but very frequently, numbers. And what Quartet covers in the book is just numbers and percentages, pretty much. Numbers and percentages is what is covered in the textbook, but you can use it in some other ways. So I think we have 1 or 2 sentences to show you how you can use it with things other than just numbers. But with other things like events, numbers, nouns, whatever, it's always just that noun or that number plus the を particle and 超える, which means to go over, to go past, or to exceed, right? So our first example sentence is 長野県には標高3000メートルを超える山がたくさんある. So in Nagano Prefecture, there are many mountains that exceed 3,000 meters in elevation, or go over 3,000 meters in elevation. So let's break it down. We have Nagano-ken, so that's Nagano Prefecture, that's where we live. Ni wa, so in Nagano-ken, and the wa emphasizes what comes next and marks Nagano-ken as the topic. Hyoko, hyoko is elevation. It's a common word. 3000 metru, so elevation of 3,000 meters. Wo koeru, so to go over 3,000 meters or exceed 3,000 meters. Yama ga, so that hyoko 3000 metru o koeru, that portion modifies mountain, right? So the whole thing is describing mountain, yama. So mountains that exceed 3,000 meters in elevation. Ga, that's the subject now. Takusan aru, there are many. So in Nagano Prefecture, there are many mountains that exceed or go over 3,000 meters in elevation. That's true. I think I can't remember the exact number, but there's more than 10, I think. There's a lot of mountains over 3,000 meters here. I've only climbed a few, but I have climbed a few. Ikutsu dakke? 14? 14 to 17 of them. Yeah, so there's quite a few. Alright, 北海道のじゃがいも生産量は25万トンを超える. So Hokkaido's potato production output is more than 250,000 metric tons. So breaking it down, we have 北海道のじゃがいも生産量. So 生産 is production, 量 is just the amount, so production output. 生産量, production output. So 北海道のじゃがいも is potatoes. 北海道のじゃがいも生産量, so Hokkaido's potato production output. Wa, that's the topic. 25万, so 25万 is 250,000. Ton. Ton is in Japanese usually used to refer to metric tons. So in American English, a ton is 2,000 pounds, I think. But a ton in most other languages is a metric ton, which I believe is just 1,000 kilograms, I believe. So this is 250,000 metric tons, which means it would be, add 3 zeros to that, 250 million kilograms, maybe? Something like that. They put out a lot of potatoes from Hokkaido, basically. Wo koeru, so it's more than that. More than 250,000 metric tons. That's how many potatoes they produce. All right. So question time preview is just so you can get an idea of what's coming in the question time and you can start thinking about what you might want to answer. You don't have to answer it now. This is just the example. First example. So 去年からあなたが趣味やこだわっていることに使った金額はいくらを超えますか? So from last year, how much money have you gone over in spending on your hobby or something you like? So for example, 私がチョコレートに使った金額は3万円を超える. So I've spent over 30,000 yen, that's about $300 US, a little less, on chocolate. That was Yuki-sen. So 私が, I'm the subject, チョコレートに, so in or on chocolate, 使った金額, so the amount of money I've spent on chocolate, は, that's the topic. And emphasizing mostly what comes next. 3万円を超える. So it goes over 30,000 yen. All right, on to the next example. We have 日本の小麦の海外輸入の割合は 80% を超えている. So Japan's foreign import rate of wheat exceeds 80%. So Quartet uses mostly examples like this with percentages and numbers. So we've also mostly used those kind of example sentences. Here's a percentage. So, 日本の小麦粉. So, Japan's 小麦粉 is wheat. 小麦粉. And there's no ko in here. 小麦, just 小麦. So, I might have read that wrong. 日本の小麦の海外輸入の割合は 80% を超えている. So, Japan's wheat の海外輸入. 輸入 is import. So, foreign import の割合. So, the rate 割合 of foreign import of wheat in Japan or for Japan is, well, that's the topic, 80% を超える. It goes over 80%. I think it's closer to actually 90%. Alright, the next one is 50% を超える市内の会社はテレワークを導入している. So more than 50% of the companies within the city are introducing telework. 50% を超える. So this is the beginning of our sentence now. It's different than our other ones, and that's modifying 市内. So 50%, 市内の会社, actually, it's modifying that whole thing. So over 50% is how you could read this. Over 50%. 50% を超える。Over 50% or more than 50%. 市内の会社, so companies within the city は, so that emphasizes what comes next. テレワークを, so telework を導入している. So 導入 is to introduce something. 導入している. So they're introducing telework. All right. Next one is also a number, but you notice that kanji means degrees. Here we go. 海水の温度が29度を超えると、サンゴは死んでしまうそうです。So when the temperature of seawater exceeds 29 degrees, apparently coral dies. So some common words that aren't on the JLPT here, we have 海水, which is seawater, and サンゴ, which is coral. So 海水の温度, so the temperature of seawater が, that's the subject, 29度を超える. So exceeds 29 degrees. To, so that to is when. So when the seawater exceeds 29 degrees. サンゴ is coral は, new topic emphasizing mostly what comes next. 死んでしまうそうです. Apparently they die. And that しまう is unfortunately or completely. So unfortunately it seems that they die. Is another way you could think of this. I think we have one more. So this one is also a number, but I think we have, I think we only have numbers in this lesson possibly. Okay, I guess just in the bonus sentences on the website, we must have had some non-number examples. Sorry about that. Anyway, 彼はメンバーが30人を超える大きいプロジェクトのリーダーになったことがある。So as for him, he's become the leader for large projects that exceed 30 members before. So this one is 彼は, so he is the topic. メンバーが, so members, and they're the subject. 30人を超える. So over 30 people. So members over 30 people or over 30 members. 大きいプロジェクトのリーダー. So a big project leader. So he was a big project leader on projects with over 30 members. になったことがある. So he has the experience of becoming a project leader for big projects that exceed 30 members. You can literally read this backwards. Like, has the experience of becoming a leader on big projects, 大きい project, that exceed 30 members. You can read it backwards, basically. All right, so that brings us to the dialogue, which we're going to have Yuki read for us. So let's get her over here. So this story, right? A lot of you, I think, are just hanging out tonight. So what's going on in this story is we had a young guy, probably around my age, and it started with him running towards work. He woke up late and he was running towards work, and he was trying to get there early, but the train tracks, the gate on the train tracks came down, and he was going to be late because that's his train that's going to be going by. And he's talking about how ever since that fateful day, it's been like he's hated by the gods. And this is basically that story. So the couple, like a year before that, he had gone to a drinking party, and on the way home with his junior, they saw a little purple shrine, which was weird because he knows that shrine, he passes it every day, and it's actually a very famous shrine, and it's not a little purple shrine. And they went in, and his coworker threw in a 5 yen coin, and he had no money left because he spent it all at the drinking party. So he threw in a game center ticket into the offering box at the shrine. And ever since that day, everything's been messed up. He doesn't remember anything after throwing that in. He woke up late for work and ran to work in the night before his clothes and found out that, I believe... he found out in the last lesson that his coworker, the one from the night before, had gotten a raise. And he was freaking out about it. So now we're continuing that story. Tom-chan, arigatou gozaimasu. Member for 6 months. Happy birthday, Andy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for being a member for so long, Tom. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
ありがとうございます。
All right, so お願いします. Let's continue with our story.
メールがようやく開いて読み始めた。真ん中あたりにこう書いてあった。君は今年遅刻した回数が10回を超えるから今月から給料を20万円から18万円に引き下げます。年末まで遅刻しなければまた20万円に引き上げましょう。 マジか。とつぶやいて、キーボードに頭をうずめた。
Alright, so you can read it one more time at full speed and I'll break it down.
メールがようやく開いて読み始めた。真ん中あたりにこう書いてあった。
The email finally opened, and I began to read. Around the middle of the email, this was written. So, breaking it down, メールが, so mail is the subject, ようやく, finally, 開いて, so it finally opened, and 読み始めた, I began to read. 真ん中あたりに, so in around the middle, こう書いてあった. This was written, or something like this was written.
君は今年遅刻した回数が10回を超えるから、今月から給料を20万円から18万円に引き下げます。年末まで遅刻しなければ、また20万円に引き上げましょう。
So, just to give you some quick background on this, his coworker, his junior, got an email from the boss that said he got a raise. So I'm like, why the heck you don't do anything? Why did you get a raise? And then I'm like, well, maybe I got a raise. So I ran back to my computer, got a coffee stain on my shirt, and I'm reading that email now. And what it says is, the amount of times you've been late this year exceeds 10. So from this month, I will reduce your salary from 200,000 yen to 180,000 yen per month. We can know that based on the amounts. If you are not late until the end of the year, we will go ahead and raise it back to 200,000 yen again. So he's not getting a raise. Breaking it down, we have kimi wa. Kimi is someone above you is the only person that will ever use kimi. You're not going to use it for people above you or generally even to you. Either it's used talking down, generally by older people mostly, or people talking to their significant others sometimes. Anyway, 今年, so this year, 遅刻した回数, so the amount of times you were late. 遅刻 is to be late. 回数 is the amount of times. が that's the subject. 10回, 10 times. を超える. It exceeds 10 times. から. So, 今月から from this month. 給料. 給料 is your salary. を direct object. 20万円から. So, from 200,000 yen, which is about $1,800. Not $2,000. You can think of it easier. To 18万円 to 180,000 yen に引き下げます. So we're going to reduce it. 引き下げる is to reduce it. So we're going to reduce your salary from 200,000 to 180,000. 年末まで. So until the end of the year. 遅刻しなければ. If you are not late until the end of the year. また again 20万円に引き上げましょう. So we'll go ahead and raise it up to 200,000 yen again. If you're not late until the end of the year. And we know from the beginning of the story that he was. Anyway.
マジか。とつぶやいて、キーボードに頭をうずめた。
No way, I said to myself and buried my face in the keyboard. マジか. So no way. とつぶやいた. That と is the quotation to. We probably shouldn't have colored that, but it's not a big deal. つぶやく is to sort of talk to yourself, mumble, yeah. つぶやいて、キーボードに頭をうずめた. You can think of this part, キーボードに in the direction of the keyboard, 頭をうずめた. Into your keyboard, like that, right? Okay, so that's the end of that section. Here's question time.
去年からあなたが趣味やこだわっていることに使った金額はいくらを超えますか?
So how much have you spent, exceeded, what's the word I'm looking for? Okay, so from last year, what have you spent over on your hobbies or something you like? So for example,
私がチョコレートに使った金額は3万円を超える。
So the amount of money I've spent on chocolate or gone over spending on chocolate is 30,000 yen. So 私が me, that's a subject チョコレートに so in the direction of chocolate 使った金額 so the amount of money I used on chocolate は emphasizing what's coming next 3万円を超える it exceeds 30,000 yen. Next one is
去年バナナを買った金額も3万円を超える。
So the amount of money I spent on bananas last year was also 30,000 yen. So 去年 so last year バナナを買った金額 so the amount I bought of bananas も is also 3万円を超える it also exceeds 30,000 yen. So how about you? What amount did you exceed on your hobby or something you really like? And you can lie about this if you want. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to, if you're really embarrassed about it, you don't have to worry about it. But anyway, go for it. Thank you so much, Tom-chan, again.
す。
said happy birthday. Thank you so much. And thank you, Hubert Yao. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
ありがとうございます。
Thanks for hanging out, guys. Appreciate that. Happy birthday, Ando-san, says Harshit. Harshit, thank you very much. Also, it's behind the object marker.
ね、伝えとかないとね、安藤さんに。
Did I miss something? Yes, 1 ton equals 1,000 kilogram. Okay, thanks, Violin Guy. Appreciate that.
そう。
Happy birthday, mate, says Rocket. All right. Did I miss any questions?
その、フェドーっていう。
Okay, I'll jump on that in a second.
Okay.
Rodrigo, thank you so much. Appreciate that. From Brazil. Sick. That's so cool. People from all over the world. Where is everyone from tonight? Sangetgatsu Squad, says Vanessa. Yes, indeed. Is that a verb? Says PV. Koeru? Yeah, koeru is a verb. It means to go over. To go over something.
しまった。
It is
私、
indeed.
標高のことかと思っちゃった。
Hello there. Can you please explain briefly the difference between niwa and dewa topic markers? Okay. Yeah, I can try. So, dewa is...
まず2とでの違いからやった方がよくない？
そうしようと思ってた。
はい。
So the main differences between de and ni is you can think of de more as the utilization particle. It's you're using something to do something else. And that could be a location, it could be a tool, it could be anything, but you're thinking of using that to accomplish another thing with the de particle. So with the ni particle, you can be moving in a direction of something or doing something in the direction of something else. You're not necessarily using that thing for some purpose. You're just going somewhere or doing something in the direction of somebody or things like that. So those are the main differences between de and wa. So if you think about those, that's the exact same difference as that you'll find with niwa and dewa. That wa attached to niwa and dewa is mostly adding emphasis to whatever comes after it. It's telling you, don't worry about this thing we're talking about. Worry about what comes after the wa. That's the main point we want you to think about. It's the topic particle, and that's the job of it. It brings your attention to what comes after it. Basically. Anything to add to that?
はい。そのエンファシスパートなんですけど、そのエンファシスする部分は、その文章の文脈によってその幅を狭めるのか、その限定なんかものをもっとフォーカスする考え方にするのか、それとも場所自体を持ち上げるのかっていう違いが文章によってあると思います。例えばオーストラリアではって言ったら、のオーストラリアの中で何かがありそうな感じに聞こえるでしょ。オーストラリアにはって言われたら、そのさダイレクションが問題だから、その次に来るさ、文章によって、だけどなんとなくね、私が考えるにオーストラリアにはって言った方がなんとなく幅がちょっと狭まるような気がするの。
I don't know how to explain that really.
そうだけどそれはちょっとね、向かってる方向とかその起きてる物事、フィールドの大きさとかが多分文章によって違うから、それはコンテキストになってしまうと思うんですけど、
このレベルではそんな違いが、多分わからないと思うけど、そんな質問でだけど、it can if you hear a location in dewa, you're going to be thinking something is happening in that location, where if you think something location niwa, you're thinking something is happening they're going to be doing something in that location because they're going into that location to do something. But it's not always locations that come with dewa and niwa, so that's one thing to keep in mind. But with a location, it can there can be a bit of a difference there. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, hope it does. All right. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate that. Thank you for the bananas, the double bananas, and birthday cake. Appreciate that very much. Thank you so much, guys. A couple other people said happy birthday as well. Thank you so much, June. Happy birthday, Ando-san. Thank you for all the effort you make my Japanese learning journey so much more enjoyable. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you so much. Lopsang Lama. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Arigatou gozaimasu. Q time from Dashiell Baker.
はい。去年日本の本や漫画に使った金額かなが、漫画を買った金額は 200オーストラリアドル以上を超える。
いいね。
結構買ってますね。
Nice. Okay, so the only thing to worry about there is that ni particle after manga. You either want to change that to wo, so manga wo katta kingaku, or you can say tsukao, so manga ni tsukatta kingaku, so the amount of money I used on manga, or the amount of money I bought manga with, basically. So manga wo katta kingaku, or manga ni tsukatta kingaku. Otherwise, all good. Nice. Perfect.
Okay.
All right, Sam, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Mary has a cue time.
はい。漫画に使った金額は、これね、難しいね。11万2000円を超えるだ。
Very close. So, if you're gonna have two numbers, or even 3, 4, before sen, it's actually gonna be man, because you count by hundreds. Then 10,000s are the next big denominator. And then I think the next big denominator is like 100 millions or something. I can't remember. But anyway, 10,000s. So you said 12,000. 12,000 would actually, if you're going to use kanji, be 1万2000. If you want to use kanji. N.
Ne.
So 12000. It's a little bit confusing at first. But yeah, but otherwise your sentence is great. Just that part you want to be careful of. So, spent over 12 man on 12000 on manga. It's a respectable amount. All right, Sam says.
はい。去年靴を買った金額は10万円を超えた。少し後悔しているけど新しい靴を履くことは楽しい。
いいですね。
いいですね。
I don't think I've ever spent that much on shoes.
ね、
結構こだわってるけどね、俺、
まあね、
靴に。
でも私もね、人生のうちに、そんななんか超高級な靴履いてみたいの。
いいんじゃない？いつか。なるほど。I know what to think about for Yuki's birthday.
いいね。
Remind me, guys. Remind me in June.
それ嫌なんですけど。
All right, so your sentence is perfect. Good job, Sam. All right, Loopy.
はい。私は、日本語オンラインレッスンに使った金額は800ユーロぐらいを超えると思う。
いいですね。Nice.
頑張ったね。
That's a good thing to spend money on. Online lessons, especially one-on-one if you can get them. Excellent use of money for studying. Great.
ね、頑張ってるよね。
Good sense, Loopy. So Loopy has spent probably around or will go over approximately 800 euros on online Japanese lessons. Nice. Violin guy.
はい。去年から僕の猫さんの餌に使ったお金はほとんどガソリンのためのガソリンのためのなんていうかな、入費じゃないんだな、費用でいくか。
なんか多分貯めてあった分、本当にガソリンに使おうと思った分って言いたいかな。わかった。テレワークで使わなかった分ってことだよね。本当はガソリンに使うはずだったけどテレワークで使わなくてよかったから、その代わりに猫の餌に使っちゃったってことだよね。そう
いうことか。なるほど。じゃあ待ってね。ちょっと違うね。そういうことだと、入費っていうのあんまり言わないんだけど、
だから違う言葉でいいよ。
ちょっと待ってね。費用って言った方が多分一般的かな。
費用 ?OK、じゃあ費用ね。Right there. So, 去年から僕の、猫さんの餌に使ったお金はほとんどガソリンのための費用を超えちゃった。Okay. I think I understood that wrong. I was wrong. 多分ガソリン代より猫の餌が高かったわけだよね。
そうだと思う。
Okay, I was wrong about that. Sick. Okay, so that's the only thing you have to change there is that word. Change it to 費用. 費用 is probably a little bit more common for expenses like that. はい、
かな。
入費はなんか必要な金って書いてある。
なんかね、そう。だけど入費ってこのさ、入ってくる。
そう。
入ってくる、そう。
the expenses that come in.
そ
で、費用 is just straight up costs. あることのために必要ある、そう、OK。
お金のことね。
そう、費用。
かな合ってるかなそれで。でもテレワークのおかげさまでって書いてあるから。
So thanks to telework, violin guy spent more on cat food than on gasoline. Alright, Malkov.
はい。私がビールに使った金額は10万円を超えました。
Nice. So the amount of money that Malkov has spent on beer exceeded 100,000 yen. Nice.
あ、そうか。
10万。100,000 yen. Nice.
すごい。
Pretty reasonable. Alright. You're welcome, Fedor. 説明ありがとうございます。どういたしまして。
結構飲んでるな。
David.
はい。去年からボードゲームに使った金額は、読めないこれ。
100カナディアンドル。カナダドル。
なるほど。100カナダドルを超えました。この CDN でカナダドルなの
かな
はい、OK。
10 Canadian ってことだよね。きっと。
そういうことか。
Nice. So about David has from last year spent probably over or has spent over 100 Canadian dollars on board games. Nice.
いいね。
What kind of board games?
ねえ、何やってんだろう。あれかな、キャッシュフローかな。あれ高いから。
それは違う。それはもっと、それ超えるんだよ。
これ超えちゃう？
だから2万5,000円とかでしょ。
英語版だと安いの。
really?
あれは日本語版だから超高いんだよ、なぜか。
Interesting.
ふ
Wasn't it
ざ
made in
けてる
Japan?
よね。わかんない。ふざけてるよねとか言って。わかんないんだよ。
Anyway.
はい。
Alright. Michael.
去年、ファンシーなイヤホン、いわゆる IEM に使った金額は23,000フィリピンペソを超えました。
Okay.
あらららららら。
IEM わかりません。IEM。
何それ？
これじゃないよね、きっと。
なんかさ、カスタムなんじゃない？なんか
カスタムできるんだ。
カスタムって何をカスタムするの？
すごいね。I've never heard of these. That's interesting. Cool. I'll have to look at that.
すごいね。なんかマイコはなんか未来に生きてるね。なんか
いいね。Nice, Michael.
日本人さんとは違いました。
So Michael has used over 23,000 Philippine pesos on IEMs and earphones. Fancy earphones. Okay.
ね、超ファンシーだよ。
And what are called IEMs. Nice. IEMs appear to be custom headphones.
へえ、そんなのあるんだね。
今からガソリンの値段
上がるからね。
から車はもっと高いね。
うん。
ね。
そうなんですよ。
Yep. Gasoline is going to be rough. I'm glad I don't have to leave the house much because I don't want to pay for gas.
でももっと大きい問題起きちゃったじゃないですか、私たち。
The car battery died 2 days ago. Yeah, just randomly died.
まだフィックスしてません。
I bought a charger to charge, to jumpstart the car because we don't know anyone really in the town with a car that can come jumpstart it for us. So I went and bought a little jump starter thingy battery, and I went to jumpstart it, and it wouldn't jumpstart. And I looked, and the battery, it's just completely dead. It's like if you try and run it with like this, it could blow up. So don't do that. So I have to change a battery tomorrow by myself because we can't even get it to the nearest gas station. So that's gonna be fun. Does anyone want to come change a battery for me? I can figure it out. I think I don't know if I have the tools or not. I probably do somewhere. 今年 Oh, here we go. Benjamin. How's it going, Benjamin?
今年、これね、難しいんだよ、私も。松田
だと思う。
RX7 のパーツに使った金額は90万円を超えました。
Car parts will do that. They will definitely do that to you.
すごい。
RX7 is pretty cool. RX7.
それアンディもいいねって言ってるやつ？
いや、俺はこんなにスポーティーなやつあんまり乗らないかな。
こんなにスポーティーなやつなんだ、すごい。
いいですね。
さ、あれ、フィリオス7のやつ？
I don't know. I've never really seen any of the Fast and
あ、
Furious movies, so I don't
そう
know.
あ、でもそれは松田じゃないね。スバ
お
ルか。
金持ち says Murray.
ね、お金持ち。
カスタムでないもありますよ。形より音の、なるほどね。はい、性質が、はい、はい。
へえ。
Just like
音の
keyboards, right?
性質がいいってこと？音の性質が、
がこだわってるんじゃない？
あ、なるほど
はいは
ね。
い。形よりも
うんうん。
音。Just like keyboards. I'm
へ
on the
え。
feel and the sound is what I pay attention to on the keyboards.
そう
Makes sense.
ね。
Do we use this verb for exceeding time or time limit? 30分を超える。Sure. You can use it for time.
うん。
Going over the time. 30分、明日のテストは30分を超える。
明日のテス
Doesn't
トは、
really make sense, but 明日の、
例えば、
昨日の残業は3時間も超えてしまったとか。
そうだね。
Yesterday's overtime went over 3 hours or something like that. Sure, you can use it for that.
そう、ナンバーとかパーセンテージとかが来るときに、超えるを使える表
With
現
numbers
と
a
して
lot.
ね。
友達と紛争するボードゲームするのが好きです。
写真のやつ？
いや、いくつかあるみたい。
あ、そうなんだ。ストレンジャー・シングスみたいなやつ？
あるの？
違うの？違うんだ。
それが Dungeons and Dragons ですよ。その Stranger Things に出たのは。Dungeons and Dragons はボードゲームよりも、まあ、テーブルトップロールプレイングゲームみたい。私たちやってる ESO とかは全部これがなかったらないと思う。そういうゲームはこっちから生まれた。
へー。
で、これは Stranger Things でやってた、このゲーム。自分たちでこういうボードとか作るんだからちょっと違う。アドベンチャーとか作るんだね。はい。
はい。
Alright, so
はい。
that was good. Sweet. So thank you so much, Tom-chan, Hubert, and David. Appreciate that. And thank you everyone else as well for hanging out. It's about time we move on to the next section.
はい。
Which is also not that bad. It's very similar to this section.
うん。
Quite similar. This one is also mostly about numbers. So
そうそうね、今回のねレッスンはナンバー
lesson 10 is mostly about a lot of number stuff. So right, ready?
はい。
Let's
じゃ
do
あ
it.
またね。
またね。はい。お願いします。They say 超える all the time in Black Clover. 限界を超える. Yeah, to go over the limits. Yeah, for sure. So you can use it for other things as well, like that. Go over certain lines. Anything that it signifies a line, like 限界 or something like that. You can also use 超える with things like that. All right. So our next section is to account for with noun を占める. Noun を占める. It's just like the last section. You use it with generally numbers, lines as well. Not lines, mostly numbers and certain percentages of things a lot. So it means to account for some number, to account for a certain percentage of something. Or I think we do have some examples on this one that aren't numbers, and you'll see what it can be used for there. But it's very simple to use. It's just the noun or the number plus を particle and 占める. I almost said 超える there. 占める. So our first example sentence is 人間の睡眠時間は1日の約3分の1を占める. So as for a human's sleep time, it accounts for approximately 1/3 of a day. So breaking it down, we have 人間, so humans, 人間の睡眠時間, so the sleep time of humans は, that's the topic, 1日の約3分の1, so approximately, that's the 約 part. 3分の1 means 1/3. When you're talking about like half or fourths or fifths or 1/3, we put the in English we put the one 1/3 first, but in Japanese you flip it around. You put the bottom divider. I don't know math terms. I should, and I probably do, but they're not coming to my head right now. But if you have a fraction, it takes the bottom of the fraction, you put that first when you're saying it in Japanese. So 1/3 would be 3分. So bun is bun is, what is bun? I can't remember. No, I can't remember the English for bun. Why can't I remember? One second. The word I'm looking for, a segment. I was looking for segment. So it's like one segment. So 3 segments. And it's one of them. So 3分の1 or 3分の2 would be 1/3 or 2/3, etc. So 1/3 of one day. 1日の約 approximately 3分の1, 1/3 を占める. So it accounts for approximately 1/3 of a day, human sleep time. All right, 海の広さは地球の71% を占めています. So as for the size or width of the sea, it accounts for 71% of the Earth's surface. And I have the surface here in gray because we don't actually have the surface in the Japanese, but it's understood, right? So, 海の広さ, so the width of the sea or the size of the sea, that's the topic. 地球の, so the Earth's 71%, so 71% of the Earth, just the Earth really, を占めています. So it's 71% of the Earth. Now, that's not entirely accurate. It's not actually 71% of the Earth. It's 71% of the surface of the Earth, because if you go under the surface of the Earth, there's probably a lot more other junk than water. But it takes up 71% of the surface of the Earth. So 地球の71% を占めています. It is taking up 71% of the Earth surface. The surface part is understood here. So question time preview, we have あなたの趣味や勉強や仕事をする時間は1週間のうち何時間も占めていますか? So how much of your week, or how many hours in your week, does your hobby or study or work account for? So for example, 私の Netflix の時間は1週間のうち10時間を占めている. So my Netflix time, it accounts for 10 hours in my week. So 1週間のうち, so in one week, 10時間も占めている. It accounts for 10 hours of my week. So you can use that exact pattern. 1 week のうち, 1週間のうち, how many hours を占めている? And you can just put what your thing is. So 私の Netflix の時間 or 私のゲームの時間 or 私の日本語の勉強の時間, for example. Anything like that. And tell us how long it accounts for. This is just the preview. You don't have to answer it just yet. So we have a couple more examples first. So 北海道が日本のじゃがいも生産量の8割を占めている. So we talked about Hokkaido's 生産量, their output of potatoes earlier, but we were just talking about the actual literal amount. It was 250 million kilograms, I believe. So 250,000 metric tons. This is a little bit different way of talking about it. So Hokkaido accounts for 80% of the production output of Japan's potatoes. So 北海道が, that's the subject, Hokkaido. 日本のじゃがいも生産量, so the production output of Japan's potatoes, の8割. So this wari is interesting. It's always out of 10. So if you hear someone say 1割, it means 10%. If you hear someone say 5割, it means 50%. If you hear someone say 8割, it means 80%. So wari attached to 1 through 9 is a percentage of 10 or of 100, right? You can think of it like that. So 8割 is 80% of 100%, right? So 8割を占めている. It accounts for 80% of the production of Japan's potatoes. I think we have two more. 私の家族はよく食べるので、毎月の食費は私の給料の半分も占めている. So my family eats a lot. So our monthly food costs account for half of my salary. All right, breaking it down, we have 私の家族, so my family は, they're the topic, よく食べる, so they eat well or they eat a lot. ので, so 毎月, every month, の食費, so every month's food costs. 食費 is food costs. は, that's the new topic, emphasizing what comes next. 私の給料の半分, so half of salary that is mine. So my salary, half of my salary を占めている. It accounts for half of my salary, or it makes up half of my salary is another way you could think of this. This isn't exactly a number, but half, you can think of it like a number. Half is another way. You don't have to say 2分の1, although you could. We learned that a little bit earlier. You can just say 半分. 日本の素材メーカーは世界中で高いシェアを占めている. So here we don't have an actual number, though we are abstractly talking about a number and just saying a large amount. but Japanese raw material makers account for a large share of the world's raw material makers. A lot of raw material is made for various different things in Japan. So, 日本の素材メーカー. Sozai is raw materials. So, maker is makers. So, 日本の素材メーカー. So, Japanese raw material makers は世界中, so around the world, で、utilizing the whole world or thinking of it in the whole world terms, 高い share, so a large share, a high share を占めている. They account for a large share of the world's raw material makers. All right, that brings us to the second part of the dialogue. Let's get Yuki over here to read the continuation of our story.
はい。
お願いします。
この町で住むためには給料が18万円だと家賃と光熱費だけで半分くらいを占める。食費や電車代を考えると20万円の給料でも残りは少なかった。これから俺は生きていけるのかな。遅刻しないように努力するしかない。でもなぜか俺の電車はよく遅れてくる。どうしようかな。
大変だね。Alright, you can read it full speed and I'll break it down.
この町で住むためには給料が18万円だと家賃と光熱費だけで半分くらいを占める。食費や電車代を考えると20万円の給料でも残りは少なかった。
To live in this town with a salary of 180,000 yen, rent and utilities alone account for around half of it. When you consider food costs and train tickets, even with a salary of 200,000 yen, there was little left over. So breaking down konomachi de, so utilizing this town or in this town, the town is the specific thing we're worried about here. In this town, sumu tame ni wa, so for the purpose of living here, kyuryo ga, so the salary ga 18万円だと, so when a salary is 180,000 yen, 家賃と光熱費, so 家賃 is rent, and 光熱費 is utilities, heat, gas, water, things like that. 光熱費だけで, so only accounting for, or only thinking of rent and utilities, で、半分ぐらいを占める, so about half our account of that salary, the 180,000 yen is accounted for. 食費や電車代を考えると, so when you think about 食費, so food costs, and 電車代, and things like food costs, the ya is things like food costs and train tickets, 電車代を考えると20万円の給料でも even a salary of 200,000 yen 残りは少なかった. So there was little left over. 残りは少ない means little left. A small amount left. So even when you think about food costs and train costs, even 200,000 yen, there's only a little bit left at the end of the month with that salary. はい。
これから俺は生きていけるのかな。遅刻しないように努力するしかない。でもなぜか俺の電車はよく遅れてくる。どうしようかな。
I wonder how I'm going to get by from now on. I guess the only thing I can do is do my best to not be late. But for some reason, my train often comes late. What should I do, I wonder? So, これから from now. 俺は so me. 生きていけるのかな I wonder if I can get by. 生きていけるのかな I wonder if I can go on. 遅刻しないように. So, in order to not be late, 努力するしかない. So, 努力 is to work hard to do something. Give effort, basically. するしかない. There's nothing but that. でも, but なぜか for some reason, 俺の電車 so my train はよく often 遅れてくる it often comes late. どうしようかな What should I do, I wonder? はい。Question time.
あなたの趣味や勉強や仕事をする時間は1週間のうち何時間を占めていますか?
So for your hobbies, 趣味, your study or your work, how much of 1 week, how many hours of 1 week does that account for? One of those things, your study, your hobby, or work. The first one was?
私のネットフリックスの時間は1週間のうち10時間を占めている。
So my Netflix time, about 10 hours of a week are accounted for. So 私のネットフリックスの時間, so my Netflix time は 1週間のうち、so in one week, 10時間を占めている。10 hours of my week are accounted for by my Netflix time. The next one is?
ゲーム(ESO) の時間は1週間のうち15時間を占めている。
One second.
うちがなかったね。
Mr. Nucci. There we go. Now we have an Uchi.
どうも。
Alright. 1週間のうち15時間を占めている。So it's the same as the last sentence, right? ゲームの時間は、so you don't have to have 私. You could just have ゲームの時間. So game time, in this case ESO. 1週間のうち10時間も占めている。It accounts for, and that's my game time, accounts for 15 hours of my week, of 1 week. So you can have the same exact pattern, just the thing you're doing, your hobby or your studying or work, and how many hours of your week it accounts for. All right, let's see what else we missed.
あ、さっきの、
はい。
超えるの。
あ、ごめん、ちょっと待って。グレイがありがとうございます。アンディ、残念ながら今日は働かなくてはいけないので、はい、わかりました。大丈夫ですよ。ありがとうございます。Thank you very much. Thank you, Greg. はい、OK。
では、ごきげんよう。
はい。
頑張ってください、仕事。
I probably missed you already, but thank you very much. はい。
はい。ごめんね、そのさっきの限界を超えろからのを考えてたんですけど、
はいはい。Go ahead.
ごめんね。
それ質問じゃなかったけど、ただそれが言ってるって。
そう。
よく言ってるって。
アニメとかだとね、限界を超えろなんだけど、その限界以外にナンバーじゃない言葉を使うのって、例えばその比べてる2つのものがあって、で、なんていうの、その、ボーナスには出たんですけど、腕前とか、その人のスキルの高さとか、レストランの味の美味しさとか、なんか怖さとか、なんかそういうの。
What I was saying before when he said that is, if it's not a number, I was saying that you can use it when you cross some line. It doesn't have to be a number, but if there's some kind of line. 腕前を超える is, you can think of the line as their ability. So 腕前を超える means, and you go over their ability. You cross the line, which is their level of ability.Same idea. So 限界 is also some kind of line. でもそういう感じかな。
そういうのだったら言えるよと思って。
You can use 超える with lines, crossing lines or numbers. Yeah, sweet. Michael says, やはり。
やっぱり、これは Q タイムじゃないですね。やっぱり言葉を覚えたいだけならともかく理解し心に刻まれるぐらい勉強したいなら例文まで勉強するべきですね。
そうですね。
すごい心に刻まれるコメントですね。
Thank you so much, Timothy. You're very welcome. I'm happy to make them. I enjoy it very much. So Blue, thank you very much as well. Asia Excalibur, I watched your past lessons as I just recently started learning Japanese and it really helped me a lot. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you very much.
ありがとうございます。
Q Time has a Dashiel, the other birthday boy, has a Q Time.
私の日本語と学校の勉強は1週間のうち22時間以上を占めている。日本の勉強はもちろん楽しいが、数学や地理などの学科の勉強はとても退屈だ。
まあそうだよね。Perfect sentence. Good. So, Japanese and school studying for school takes up about accounts for over 22 hours of Dashiel's week. Makes sense. Michael Emil Riviera, thank you very much. 誕生日おめでとう、Andy-san. Your Genki lessons have been really helpful to supplement the Genki textbook lessons I'm learning at the moment. Enjoy your day. Thank you very much. I'm happy to hear that they have been helpful. Sam. Nope. Wait. Malkov. All right.
はい。私の日本語の勉強の時間は1週間のうち14時間を占めている。
Perfect. So study time of Japanese accounts for 14 hours of your week. Nice, Malkov.
素晴
That's a
ら
good amount of time.
しい。
Excuse me.
はい。じゃあ次、バイオリン街。
はい。
漢字を覚える時間は、のはいらないかな。漢字を覚える時間は、1日のうち2時間を占めています。1日2時間もやってるの？
Sorry, had something in my chest. 漢字を覚える時間。Yeah, you don't need that no there. 時間は1日のうち2時間を占めています。いいですね。
そんなに頑張ってる
2
の
hours of 漢字 a day. Killing it, man.
すごいよ。
Keep it up.
すぐ私に追いついちゃうよ、それじゃあ。
でもね、漢字はたくさんとか暗記に入れたりするとね、簡単に2時間とかになっちゃうんだよ、レビューだけで。
マジ？
結構、there's so many that eventually, it's just
そっ
the
か。
time it takes to study them gets longer and longer just reviewing them. It's very common.
でもそれさ、やってる数がさ、2時間もやってるってさ、
A lot of it's probably reviews, right, violin guy? Yeah. So you
すごい
probably like
数
learn
よ、
a
そ
bunch
れ。
of extra ones and then you actually review the old ones. So 暗記するだけでも you might have 150 reviews in one day on Anki, and that'll take you an hour and a half. And then you learn 10 new kanji, and that's the 30 minutes. You're done.
Done?
That's why Japanese is such a pain in the neck. Japanese itself isn't really hard, but because of how much time you have to spend on the words, like
まあ、
on reading,
うんうんうん。
like if you were to learn Spanish I think is harder grammar-wise than Japanese, in my opinion. But you can read it. As an English speaker, like from day one, you can read it no problem. So that's like 1,000 hours or more you don't have to worry about. That's a very difficult part of Japanese. Keep it up, violin guy.
ねえ。でもそれ私も頑張ったから。
そう。
頑張って。
ゆきもね、ずっと前に頑張りました。
私なんてもう大変だったよ。
うん、
毎日ね、1日1ページ漢字練習して、それを学校に提出しなきゃいけなかったよ。
ね。You did it for like 10 years probably, right?
ね。
Alright, Sam.
やばいね、それ。紙で、
ね、
紙と鉛筆で。
Luckily, there's better ways to do it, fortunately, that most of us know about. Hey, Sams.
はい。はい。最近掛け持ちをすることになったので、仕事は僕の時間の7割を占めています。
お。
それ、大丈夫？寝てる？
すごい。仕事は僕、is that 70% of your waking hours or 70% of your day in total? Because if that is, you need to sleep more, buddy.
そう。僕の時間だと、そう、それがね、わかんないよね。僕の活動時間とかだと、waking up time になるけど、僕の時間は僕の時間トータルになっちゃうので。
Right. So it sounds like with Boku no Jikan, you're talking about 24 hours, basically. So it sounds like you're working 70% of every day, which you may be, but that's a lot. So we're assuming it means the amount of time that you have for yourself in a day, basically, which would be, 16 hours or whatever. So, which is still a lot. But in that case, you would want to say, なんだっけ、仕事は僕の
活動の時間とか、
活動の時間、
アクティブタイムとか、あと生活の時間のとか。
の時間 or 僕の生活の時間 or something like that. And you'd be good.
かな？
こんばんは、YOLO. I think it is ooh. Oh, it's not ooh. I don't know how to read that one. I know it's just a face though. YOLO, how's it going? Our next question time was
はい、デイビッドかな。
マイコ。
マイコ、ごめんね。学校の時間は平日の3分の1の時間を占めています。暇をもっと楽しみたい意志のせいでスーパー寝不足です。意志のせいで意志が強いね。
So school time takes up 1/3 of your weekdays ね。を占めている。counts for that much. 暇をもっと楽しみたい意志のせいで。because of my will for enjoying my free time more. スーパー寝不足です。I'm super lacking in sleep. Fair enough. Hang in there, man.
寝た方がいいですよ。
You should sleep a little more. You could enjoy your free time even more if you slept a little more. But I understand. I know that feeling. I did the same thing when I was in university. Benjamin!
はい。私のリハーサルの時間は1週間のうち10時間を占めている。
すごい。
日本に住んでいた時、私は東京ハーバーズと一緒に歌っていました。
バーバーズ。
東京バーバーズ
は多分アカペラの歌うやつらと一緒に歌っていました。すごいね。
すごい。
So Benjamin spends 10 hours of his week rehearsing. When he lived in Japan, he sang together with the Tokyo Barbers.
へ
Nice.
え、すごいね。
いいね。
パフォーマンスの人じゃん。
そうみたいですね。
すげ
Nice, Benjamin. Keep it
え。
up. 漢字を覚えるのに2時間かかるなんて。
ね、えぐだよね、ほんと。えぐい
It
よ、
takes a
ほん
long
と。
time. A very long time. David!
はい。オンラインボードゲームの時間は1週間のうち4時間を占めています。
That's very reasonable. I feel like you could do a lot more than that and be fine. All right, so David's online board game time accounts for 4 hours of his week.
オンラインボードゲーム？
そう。
ボードゲームをオンラインでやるってこと？
だって例えばチェスとかだったらオンラインでできるんじゃないですか。
なるほどね。
そういうゲームもあると思う。モノポリーとか。
なるほど、
いっぱいあると思う。
なるほど。
そういうやつ。
そう、なんかちょっと話がちょっとずれちゃうんですけど、最近ね、
はい。
東京とかだとそのさ、ボードゲームサークル、そのボードゲームで人集まるパーティーみたいなの流行ってるんだって。
そうなんだ。Apparently board games are recently a fad in Tokyo. Interesting.
ね。
Getting together and doing board games with groups of people is apparently very popular in Tokyo right now. That's cool.
まあ東京だけじゃないかもしれないけどね、そのシティでは流行っているらしい。あとちなみにかぐや様は告らせたいというアニメではですね、その一人の女子高生のメンバーの人がゲーム部に入ってる、ボードゲーム部に入ってる。
I see.
はい、じゃあ次バイオリン街に行きます。実はテレビを見ながらレビューをしています。
漢字ね。
これはちょっと待って、Qタイムじゃないな。
じゃないみたい。新しい漢字は毎日2、3個しかない。漢字を好きですから、勉強は楽しい、楽です。なるほどね。
いいね、
はいはい、
じゃあ。
いいね。Nice. Keep it up.
はい。
Just to be sure, うちの意味は home ね。だから time spent at home. No, actually. This うち is, it's the same as 中. You could actually...
間。
そう。
漢字はね。
漢字
は中っていうか、そう。中、この漢字は中っていう字。
そう。だから漢字 is 中。そう。So the kanji is, where is it? This one ね。
そう。
So it's this kanji and it means inside. So inside a week, you can think of it as. So it takes up 5 hours inside of a week is another way you could think of this uchi. So for this sentence right here, right? 私の Netflix の時間は1週間のうち10時間も占めている. So it accounts for 10 hours inside of 1 week. 10 hours inside of 1 week is how you could think of this uchi, actually. 私の Netflix の時間. So a little bit different. It looks like someone else already answered you. Just saying within the time span. Yes, like Michael said. Sorry, someone already answered that for you. And I think I already said konbanwa to YOLO. Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much, Nicholas. Nick Burkhardt. Happy birthday. I just started learning Japanese. Your Genki video has helped me a lot. I don't know if this is right or not, but I'll say it anyway. 素晴らしい一年になりますように。ありがとうございます。Thank you very much.
みんな
It
優
is correct.
しい。
Thank you very much.
みんな私の誕生日の時もお願いしたいよ。
Let's see what day your birthday is this year. Oh, Yuki's birthday is a Friday.
ダメ
Maybe
だ。
next year. Maybe we could do just a birthday stream for Yuki's birthday.
ダメ
Nothing
だ
else.
とか言って。
Thank you, Nicholas.
いいな。
And thank you, everyone. Those are some good answers, guys. Very good.
はい。
I'm going to get a drink. 教えてきて. And jump into our final section.
はい。
Thank you for hanging out tonight, guys, and for hitting that like button 37 times, smashing it, throwing bananas at it. I appreciate that. A question.
ねえ、私お金使ってるからね、バナナに。
人生を送るを生きるの違いは何でしょうか？人生を送る and を生きる。I tend to hear 人生を送る more frequently, I feel
そう
like.
そう。
I hear that more
人生
often.
は送るものじゃないのでしょうか。
I think it's more frequently 人生を送る seems more frequent. 生きる on its own is talking about living, to be alive, to
そ
live.
うだ
So you don't
ね。
actually need to have 人生 when you say 生きる。
ね、
You
そ
can
う
just say 生きる。
そう、ちょっと待ってね。その人生を生きるっていう文章があるかどうかを確認した方がいいよね。
Let's find out.
うん。
We'll go here and see if we can find one. So I'll show you guys a fun website quick. I use this on some of the challenges on ToKiniAndy.com. If I can find it. This one. I use this website for some of the challenges on the website, ToKiniAndy.com, which, by the way, is free for one day. For one day, you can get 7 days free trial. And if you cancel before the trial is up on ToKiniAndy.com, you can pay nothing and get a week for free. 人生を生きる. We'll just get rid of the do to see if there's other conjugations. So if you put it in this little website here, we've got 生きていこう。自分の人生を生きていこうとかってある。So there's 311 examples. So you could watch this video. I'm not going to play the videos because they might get copyright striked. But if we go here, どういう人生を生きたいんだっていうことを。So I guess you do have it. 自分の違う人生を生きている人. So let's go ahead and look up the other one, which was 送る. And we'll get rid of the do just to see if we can. Just one.
Just one?
When we say 送る, there's only 75.
さっきいくつだった
311.
じゃあ人生を生きるっていう方がコモンなのかな
Well, maybe. It doesn't. The videos that they use here aren't every video. There's only a certain amount of public domain type of videos I think that they're using. I think they're public domain. I don't really know. Maybe not. Like TED Talks and stuff. So more formal Japanese, maybe.
ちょっと調べてみるね。
Yuki's going to search it for you. Okay. Well, maybe during the next section. I'm not sure of the answer to that question, how much of a difference there is or if it's a big difference or not. So she'll go ahead and search that while we move on to the next section. Thank you very much, Chili Cat. Appreciate that.
少々お待ちくださいね。
All right. So let's go ahead and move on to although with Nagara while Yuki researches Michael's question. Okay, so this Nagara is different from the Nagara we learned back in, I believe we learned it in Quartet 1, maybe in Genki 2, I can't remember exactly. But that original Nagara that we learned meant, or means, while doing this. This does not mean that. This Nagara means although something. So although I'm doing this thing, and it is very frequently used with the te iru form of verbs, keep that in mind. Although I'm doing this thing, something else happens. So it means although. You can also use it with e-adjectives, non-adjectives, just on its own. And nouns, between the noun and nagara, we need deari. So, 結婚式でありながら. So, although it's a wedding, 結婚式でありながら something something. 結婚式でありながらみんな T シャツを着てる. So, even though or although it's a wedding, everyone's wearing t-shirts. Something like that, right? Although. It's not while this, that. It's although. So, a little bit different. Let's go ahead and take a look at some examples. 彼女はたくさん本を読んでいながら読めない漢字が多い. So, although she is reading a lot of books, actually, there are many kanji she can't read. So, 彼女は, so she, while she, she たくさん本を, many books を読んでいながら. So, 読んでいる, 読んでいながら. So, although she is reading many books, 読めない漢字. So, kanji she can't read. が多い. There are many kanji she can't read. So, although she is reading a lot, there are many kanji she can't read. 友達はたくさんお菓子を食べていながら全然太らない. So, although my friend is eating a lot of candy, he doesn't gain any weight. So, 友達, my friend, はたくさんお菓子. So, eating, so lots of candy を食べていながら. Although he's eating a lot of candy, 全然太らない. He doesn't gain any weight. Question time preview. So, 勉強を頑張っていながらまだ something something できないという形で悩みを教えてください. So, please tell us something you're worried about or you feel sort of perplexed or conflicted about, and using this sentence. Even though I'm working hard at studying, or although I'm working hard at studying, I still can't do this. And what is this? So, 勉強を頑張っていながら、まだ漢字が読めない. So, even though or although I'm working hard at studying, I still can't read kanji. For example, right? It's just the preview. You don't have to answer yet. You can answer when we get to the end of the section. So, お父さんはメガネをかけていながら、まだ目が見えない. So, although my father is wearing glasses, he still can't see. お父さんは、お父さん is the topic. メガネをかけていながら. So, although wearing, かけて, it's the 定義 form again, glasses. So, although wearing glasses, my father, まだ still, 目が見えない. He still can't see. This sentence is the old nagara to contrast the last sentence. So, お父さんはメガネをかけながら新聞を開いた. So, while my father is, sorry, it should be was. While my father was putting on glasses, he opened the newspaper. お父さんはメガネをかけながら. So, かけていながら. So, he already has them on. You can already tell from it being the teiru form that it's probably going to be the although. Nagara. You maybe will only know for sure after the next part of the sentence. So, but kake nagara is while he's putting on his glasses. Shinbun wo hiraita. So he opened the newspaper. So that's a little bit different than the last one, right? お父さんはメガネをかけていながらまだ目が見えない. So although he's wearing glasses, he still can't see. お父さんはメガネをかけながら新聞も開いた. He opened the newspaper while he was putting on his sunglasses. Or his regular glasses, I guess. That was a big noise out there. Sounds like someone's lifting heavy metal. Oh yeah, okay. Riding over something. Anyway, next one. 着信に気づいていながら電話に出なかった. So although I noticed the phone was ringing, I didn't answer. So 確信 is the phone ringing. に気づいていながら. So although I noticed that the phone was ringing, 電話に, so in the direction of the phone, 出なかった. I didn't answer. 出る, 電話に出る means to answer the phone. 電話に出なかった. I didn't answer the phone. アメリカ人でありながら英語の文法があんまりわからない. So although I am an American, here we have a noun finally. Although I'm an American, I don't really understand English grammar well. So アメリカ人でありながら. So between a noun and this ながらwe need であり. アメリカ人でありながら, so although I am an American, 英語の文法, so English grammar, が, that's the subject, あんまりわからない. I don't really understand it. I'm sorry. あまりわからない. I always say あんまり, which is a more conversational version of it. So あんまりわからない. I don't really understand English grammar well, which is true. I'm not really that great at English grammar. I'm better at understanding and explaining Japanese grammar, I think. Anyway, I think that's normal for people who have actually learned a second language. I feel like people who learn a second language, generally speaking, this is very general, but tend to understand the grammar of the second language a little bit more because they've actually paid attention to it. But that's just sort of a random guess of mine. I don't know if it's true. No empirical evidence that I've collected on that, just my own experience. 彼は若いながら難しい手術も成功させる優秀な医者です. So although he is young, he is an outstanding doctor who can successfully complete difficult surgeries. So 彼は, so he, 若いながら, so here you have an e adjective, 若いながら, although he is young, 難しい手術, so difficult surgery, も also, 成功させる, so he can complete or, yeah, he can succeed or complete difficult surgeries, 優秀な医者です. So this whole thing, 難しい手術も成功させる優秀な医者. That whole thing modifies 医者, doctor. So he's a outstanding 優秀 doctor who can also succeed at difficult surgeries. です. このいちごは小ぶりながら甘くてみずみずしいです. So although this strawberry is smallish, it's sweet and juicy. このいちご, this strawberry, that's the kanji for strawberry, and it's pink, so it looks like a strawberry. That was not intentional, but は小ぶり means smallish or small in size. Sort of small. You can think of it like smallish. ながら, and it, yeah, ながら I think it's an adjective, so that's why we can have nagara with nothing between it. So このいちごは小ぶりながら甘くて it's sweet and みずみずしいです。みずみずしい means juicy. みずみずしいです。Although the strawberry is smallish, it's sweet and juicy. I think this is our last one. So Quartet also introduces some expressions that use nagara. There's a few of them. One of the most common ones you're going to hear is this one, and it's 残念ながら. So it uses nagara. It's not exactly the exact same nagara. It doesn't mean although here, but it comes from the same nagara. So I think they introduced it here together with this nagara. And 残念ながら means unfortunately. 残念ながら見たかったアニメの時間に間に合いませんでした. So unfortunately, I didn't make it in time for the anime I wanted to see. 残念ながら, unfortunately, 見たかったアニメ. So the anime I wanted to see. の時間. So the time of the anime I wanted to see. に, in that direction, 間に合いませんでした. I did not make it on time. 間に合う means to be on time for something. That brings us to the next section of our story. It's not going to finish this week. Maybe by the end of lesson 10, I'll be able to finish this short story. But I don't think Yuki is done researching yet, but we do need her for this. So we'll just have to go with whatever amount of things you've learned at the end of this part. All right, so let's jump into it. お願いします。
はい。あの日から3回も遅刻してしまった。今日で4回目になる。すでに給料は16万円に引き下げられてしまった。毎日遅刻しないように早く出発していながら、まるで呪われているように偶然なハプニングが起きて、電車に間に合うか間に合わないかの時間になる。向かってきている電車を見て飛び込もうとした。走り出そうとした瞬間、ズボンが何かに引っかかって、裾から股までほころびた。俺は周りを気にせず、大声で呆れ笑いをして、家の方に向かってゆらゆらと歩き出した。
はい。Okay, we'll read it full speed and I'll break this whole thing down.
あの日から3回も遅刻してしまった。今日で4回目になる。すでに給料は16万円に引き下げられてしまった。
After that day, I was unfortunately late 3 times. Today will be the 4th time. I've already had my salary reduced to 160,000 yen. So あの日から from that day or after that day. 3回も as many as 3 times 遅刻してしまった. I was late, unfortunately. 今日で so from today or as of today, 4回目になる. So at the beginning of the whole story back in lesson 9 point something, remember he was running to work and he got stuck at the train tracks as the gate came down and his train is about to go in front of him. So 今日で4回目になる. This will be my 4th day late. すでに給料, so already すでに給料, that's salary は16万円に引き下げられてしまった. So unfortunately my salary was reduced to 160,000 yen already. お願いします。
毎日遅刻しないように早く出発していながら、まるで呪われているように偶然なハプニングが起きて、電車に間に合うか間に合わないかの時間になる。向かってきている電車を見て飛び込もうとした。
大変だ。So although I depart early every day in order not to be late as if I am cursed, chance happenings occur, and I barely make it on time for the train. I looked at the approaching train and tried to jump. The story's just taking me where it goes. I'm not choosing these things. They're just coming out of my brain. Anyway, 毎日, every day, 遅刻しないように in order not to be late, 早く出発していながら. So although I am leaving early, 早く出発していながら. Although I'm leaving early in order not to be late every day, まるで is foreshadowing this ように. So together they mean まるで it's like, it's making a metaphor basically. So まるで呪われているように as if I've been cursed に偶然な so 偶然 means coincidental or chance happenings. Happening means happenings, events, things happening が起きて so chance happenings occur. 電車に so in the direction of the train 間に合うか間に合わないかの時間になる. Remember, we covered this ka a couple lessons ago. I think it was lesson 8 or 9, and it means barely. So barely make it on time. So 電車に間に合うか間に合わないかの時間. It's the time where I barely make it to the train. 向かってきている電車を見て I looked at the train coming. 飛び込もうとした. 飛び込む is an N2 word. It means to jump. So 飛び込もうとした. I tried to jump at the train.
走り出そうとした瞬間、ズボンが何かに引っかかって裾から股までほころびた。俺は周りを気にせず大声で呆れ笑いをして家の方に向かってゆらゆらと歩き出した。
走り出そうとした。The moment I tried to start running, my pants got stuck on something and tore from the cuff to the crotch. Without paying attention to those around me, I laughed at the stupidity of it all, turned towards home, and swaying back and forth, I began to walk. So 走り出そうとした瞬間. So the moment 瞬間 I went to run. I tried to run. ズボンが so my pants が何かに in something 引っかかって so they got stuck in something 引っかかる it means to get stuck 引っかかって裾 so 裾 is the hem. It can be of a shirt like this part or pants 裾から股 is crotch, so you can assume it's the 裾 is the pants 裾から股までほころびた. So ほころびる means to tear. Generally clothes, right? On a seam or something. So they tore from the bottom of my pants up to the top. 俺は so me 周りを気にせず so without thinking about or worrying about anyone around me 大声で so with a big voice 呆れ笑いをして so I laughed at the stupidity of it all. 呆れ笑い I can't remember the exact English for 呆れ笑い. I translated it as laughed at the stupidity of it all, but 呆れ笑い is laughing in astonishment at something silly or stupid or to scoff. 家の方に so in the direction of home 向かって so I turned in the direction of home ゆらゆらと so swaying back and forth 歩き出した. So this whole section sort of calls back to the very first section of this story because he was walking yura yura aruki dasha and he was happy that time. I don't need to tell you what I was thinking here, but this whole section is a callback to the very first section as I'm trying to wrap up the story, but the story just keeps getting out of my control and going in a new direction. I don't know. I'm having fun with it. But anyway, he's safe. He's walking towards home. All right, question time.
勉強を頑張っていながらまだ〇〇できないという形で悩みを教えてください。
So please tell us something you're worried about or confused about or, sort of not sure what to do about because, 悩み。勉強頑張っていながら although you're working hard studying まだ何々できない I still can't do something. And those things could be something like
勉強を頑張っていながらまだ漢字が読めない。
Even though or although I'm studying hard, I still can't read kanji. まだ漢字が読めない。
たくさん勉強していながらまだ日本人の友達ができない。
So even although I'm studying, たくさん even though I'm studying a lot, so you don't have to use exactly this form. So たくさん勉強していながら even though I'm studying a lot, まだ日本人の友達ができない. Still can't make any Japanese friends. So how about you? Looks like we've already got a bunch of question times, in here. So sweet. Let's go over the question times we already have before we jump back to your answer about 人生を生きる and 人生を送る。先でこれをやる。We'll go back to that question later. So first one is, thank you very much, Michelle. Appreciate that. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you as well. Aicha. Thank you. Happy birthday, Andy says, Slush. Thank you, Slush. Your videos have helped me out an incredible amount. It's going to help me so much when I head to Japan in a few months. I'm happy to hear that, Slush, and I can't wait to hear that all you guys that are trying to get into Japan were able to finally. Hope you can get here soon. All right. ながらとのにの違いは何ですか？
意味は同じです。
Same meaning.
ながらの方が文章的、もうちょっとフォーマル感ですよね。
Yuki feels like ながら is a little bit more formal. はい。
のにの方がもうちょっとカジュアルカンバセーションで使います。
Okay. Noni is a little bit more common in casual conversation.
そう、ながらの方がもうちょっとリポートとか、会社とかのミーティングとか、
I heard it in a lot of other places too, but yeah, I guess that makes sense.
なんとなくちょっとインパブリック感を感じますね。
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Dashiell is a question time.
はい。勉強を頑張っていながら、まだ数学をきちんと理解し、歴史のテストで日付を暗記できていませんかな。日付が暗記できません。日付を暗記できませんかな。
歴史のテストの日付を暗記できません。はいはいはい。
暗記するが to memorize だから、だよね。合ってるよね。
合ってる。
歴史のテストで日付を暗記できません。
You don't need the okay. 暗記できません。暗記する。そう、暗記できません。Okay. Otherwise, perfect. So, 勉強頑張っていながら、まだ数学をきちんと理解し、So, 歴史のテストで日付を暗記できません。
うん。
はい。OK。
まあ、できていませんの方が。
できていません would be better.
そう、ベタかな。まあ、まだ。
Because you're still not done with it. You're still trying to do it. So, できません just means you can't and you never will, basically. But できていません means you're still not able to do it. You're still trying, though. Right? So, できていません gives you the progressive version of it, which is why it would be a little better. Thank you very much, Siddharth. Big long cue time for Michael.
わお、計算機学科に関わるいろんなトピックについて勉強して頑張っていながら、まだ関わる論文、特にギリシャ文字や複雑な印を使う論文を完全に理解することができません。勢いで勉強しようとしてる。どこまで言った？勢いで勉強しようとしてる。勢いで勉強しようとしているだけだって分かっていますが、悔しい感じがするのも無理ないと思うんです。これはちょっと難しいね。無理ないと思うんです。
はい。Michael's working hard and very hard, and it means there's still lots of things that Michael doesn't understand. Even though he understands, he's just studying really fast and hard. It still feels rough. はい。無理はないね。You could also say 無理はない。無理はない。or 無理ない。either way. はい。悔しい感じをする。悔しい感じするのも無理ないと思うんです。そうだね。
そう。
And where was the other particle? Up here?
そう。複雑な。
複雑な。はい。複雑な。はい。そうだね。Okay. Still very good. ギリギリセーフ。そう、ギリギリセーフですよ、ベンジャミン。ナイス。
そうそう。計算機学科って何でしょうね。
計算機学科ってコンピューターサイエンスです。
あ、そっか。そうだった。
はい。大丈夫ですか？
計算機学科って言うんだ、日本語で。
恥ずかしいでしょ。
そう、なんたる恥でしょうだよ。
This guy, I'll put all the story together on the website one of these days. When we finally finish the story. But yeah, he's cursed. He is cursed. So that's pretty clear from everything that's going on. Definitely actually cursed by some kind of kami somewhere. So that's where this story is going. I don't know where I was going to end. I have no idea yet. I'm enjoying writing it though. Hi, Violin Guy has a cue time.
はい。もう1年間。ブルーフのバイオリンのコンサートを練習していながらまだ弾けないです。ブルーフってドイツの人気がある作曲家です。
はいはい、OK。なるほどね。
ブルーフのバイオリンのコンサート。
コンチェルトか
な。コンサートはコンサートで OK だよ。はい。ブルーフのバイオリンのコンサートの曲を練習してんのかな。
そうってこと。 concert, demo he might, what I'm saying is, you might have misunderstood what I just said. He might be trying to say concert. I can't remember the exact English. Concerto.
それなんだ
Concert. これ。
あ
Are you trying to say this? Violin guy. I want to make sure before we correct you
競
because
争曲のこと
そうそう、競争曲のことはコンシェルト。
コンチェルト
コンチェルト。そ
っていうの
う。So he may be trying to say that. In that case, he doesn't have to change anything. を練習していながらまだ弾けない。Then it's fine. But if you're talking about a concert of Bruce, which I'm assuming is not what you're talking about. I think you're talking about this. 競争曲. So what you probably want to say is コンチェルト or 競争なんだっけ競
争曲
曲 One of those things is probably what you want.
本当だはいって言ってる
はい、
OK
って
ことは、
So you want
そうだ
one
ね
of those
もう一回
ones.
もう一年
もう
一年間ブルーフのバイオリンの競争曲を練習していながらまだ弾けないです。なるほど。
Is that right?
そう、
Yeah.
コンサートだとね、コンサート
Concert. You gotta, I guess, concerto is also used by musicians. So either one of those. 競争曲 is the official one. Concerto is the katakana one. You can go with whichever one you like, I think.
だけどね、多分ほとんど競争曲だと思う。バック
People who are doing music
と
stuff.
か、モーツァルトとかのやつは、
とか、
そう。
ルフか。はい。
競争曲だと思います。
Keep it up, violin guy. I always forget that violin guy's name is not just a name. Also plays violin.
ねえ。
Nice. Stopping by to say happy birthday, Andy. You've been helping me a lot. I'm happy to hear that, RPG freaks. Good to see ya. I think I had a bit of a typo with the second. Whoa. あれ
あ、さっきの
こっちね。
Q タイムのやつね。
はいはいはい。OK, OK.
そう、暗記できていません。
そう。できていませんね。Alright, Sam.
はい。彼女に怒鳴られながら何を言えばいいのかわからなくて家を出た。
あ、大変だ。
ちょっと待って、これは
This is the old Nagara, just so you're aware. So this is while I was being yelled at by my girlfriend. I had no idea what to say, so I walked out. Which is perfect sentence. Sad sentence, but perfect sentence. But it's the old Nagara, which means while. So while that was happening, instead of although. But it's still a good sentence.
でもこれがね、怒鳴られていながらだったら、彼女が怒鳴ってるのに何を言えばいいかわからなくて勝手に家を出てきたことになっちゃうよ。
あ、そっか。じゃあ大丈夫か。
でも、ているフォームにすれば although になるけど、
Just turn in the ている form will be fine.
今はold のながら、
Right. I need to check something. I may have made a mistake. No, I may have made a mistake. No, I didn't. For some reason, what I noticed actually going through this whole lesson was that it seems that for the most part, verbs with this nagara are going to be in the teiru form, except for aru. Ari nagara is always ari nagara. It's not the teiru form. So like for verbs that don't have a teiru form, it's just the mas stem. I'll put this in the stream cut. But it seems that for the most part, for regular verbs, action verbs, for regular verbs in general, it's going to be the teiru form for this nagara. And it'll be tei nagara. It generally seems to be the form that's being used with the although nagara. It does not cover that in Quartet. But I thought I should mention that. 書いてない。
書き方がさ、
書き方はますだけ。
だけどその下にさ、ほら、なんか変なやつあるんじゃん、この。E
adjective それが E adjective なんですよ。
EV もこれほらこれさ E adjective プラスバーブプラス E っていう意味じゃないこれ。
I have no freaking idea what that means.
超難しい書き方だけど
that must be what it meant. But anyway, okay. So what that actually meant was はい What that actually meant was, it's usually the teiru form,
はい。
which is a terrible way they wrote it there. But
そうもしね、コーテット持ってる人はちょっと確認していただいてね。
anyway, it's usually going to be the teiru forms for this. So if you change that to 彼女に怒鳴られていながら, it would work.
うん。
はい。Q time from David.
はい。たくさん日本語を聞いていながら理解がまだ下手です。
Even though I'm listening to lots of Japanese, I still am bad at understanding.
でもね、きっと大丈夫だと思うよ。
You're probably better than you think.
知らない間にね、あら
I just understood that. It
な
happens.
るよ。
Keep it up, David. Malkov.
はい。漢字を1年間勉強していながら、漫画を読んで辞書を使い、
辞書を使わないで読むのができない。
あ、そういうことか。なるほどね。漫画を辞書を使わないで、だってさ、漫画。
あ、はい。I just figured out what you're gonna say. That's fine. Go for it.
あ、漫画を読んでは漫画は最後に持ってきた方がいい？
どっちでもいい。
辞書を使わないで漫画を読むことができないか読めないか、その真ん中に持ってこれる、漫画を辞書を使わないで読めないか読むことができない。
かっこ読むことができない。That's the first way you could put it. Or the next sentence I'll write is 辞書を使わないで漫画を読めない。or かっこ読むことができない。
難しいね。この
Either way, those are the ways you could go to make that
without
sentence
何
work.
々のやつ、ね。
そう、that's a little bit difficult.
うん、
そう、漫画を辞書を使わないで読めない。Did I do that right? 漫画を辞書を使わないで読めない。Right, okay. So that's how you would go ahead and fix that one, Malkov. All right, that's difficult. Reading native stuff, even if you've studied a ton of kanji without a dictionary, is going to be tough for a while, but you'll get there. 複雑な漢字が無理ない勉強になりました。
はい。
はい。
その無理ないが無理なくがアドバルブかな。
そうだと思う。
です。ちょっとアドバンスなやつだと思います。
学科ですか？
そうそう、それはそうコンピューターサイエンスって言われれば分かったんだけど、計算機学科と言われて全く分かりませんでした。
Thank you very much, Hangi Boy. Happy birthday, and thank you for all the efforts making ideal Japanese content. You're very welcome. Thank you very much. To's Japanese Channel. 怒鳴られながらだと、彼女が怒鳴っている最中に出ていっているような感じです。
そうですね。
そうだね。はい。ありがとう、To's Japanese Channel. To's is also creating Japanese content on his channel. Pretty new channel. Check him out. I haven't watched too many of his videos yet, but he's got a lot of stuff, so check it out.
そうなんだ。
So, To's Japanese channel. Michael Trigisberg. Happy birthday. Just started Tango N4 after Heisig 1 and 3 and Tango N5, and I'm slowly starting to struggle with grammar. Thanks for your hard work. It helps to get over those hurdles. I'm happy to hear that it's helping, Michael. Keep it up. Getting over through Tango N4 and Heisig and Tango N5 is already a huge hurdle. So you're doing well. With just a little bit of grammar, you can probably put it all together and jump right into content. Sweet. Good job. You're very welcome, Malkov. Toy Terror. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu. All right, those are great answers. So I'm going to do one more thing, and then we're going to go answer Michael's question. So first, let me just say this. Thumbs up を攻撃してください. Please smash the thumbs up button. チャンネル登録お願いします. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell so you know when we go live. Next time, thank you so much for hanging out with us on this birthday live stream. We hope to see you next time. Next week is lesson 10 part 3.
Hi.
And that's it, but we're still going to be hanging out for a little while, so don't go anywhere. I mean, you can if you want, but Michael's question was about the difference between 人生を送ると人生を生きる. and Yuki did some research
は
while
い。
we were hanging out.
まあね、100% じゃないんですけど、
はい。
人生を送るは一応フレーズ
うん。
である。
はい
人生を送るっていうことは、人生を生きるはフレーズじゃないです。
Okay.
で、いろいろ書いてあるけど、特に違いは多分ないんだけど、なんか人によってね、もしかして印象がね、違うかもしれない。なんか送るだとそのさ、タイムゴーズバイ感があるから、時間だけが流れてるところに自分がいるっていう雰囲気が出てるっていう感じが。
送るの場合。
そうそう。
Alright, so let me stop you there so I don't lose everything for those who can't follow the Japanese perfectly.
はい。
So the meaning, generally speaking, is probably about the same, but 人生を送る is a phrase. It's an existing phrase. It's like a set phrase. It's just something you say. And 人生を生きる is not a phrase that exists. It's a word, 人生. It's a noun and a verb, 生きる. For 人生を送る, there's more of the feeling of time passing and you being sort of at the beginning of it. Or at the start of it, or somewhere on that timeline. And 人生を生きるの場合
は、生きるっていうことが普通のアクティブバーブだから、アクションバーブだから、自分の意思があるっていう風に感じる人も結構いる。そう、だからそこが、印象の違いだよね。どうやって how people can impress the world depends on the situation.
人生を生きる is a little bit more of your will involved, and I'm gonna live this way. 人生を送る is looking at this is the type of life I want to lead. Looking at time in the future. I want to lead this type of life. 人生を送る。人生を生きる何々の人生を生きる is more like I'm gonna do this and live like this or something like that, maybe.
だから、
But pretty much the same meaning, though,
そうそう。
really.
まあね、人生を送るの方がもしかしたらね、個人的な意見ですけど、年齢が高い人の方がその言葉の方が好きかもね。
人生を送る? She says this is just her feeling, personal anecdote, but she feels like maybe some older people prefer to say 人生を送る.
そう。
Perhaps. はい。
なんか人生を生きる方がそのさ、私たちの世代って結構自分のアイデンティティとかを
もうちょっと
そう学校とかで勉強してか授業とかでやったから、そのウィル感があった方が、
意思があった方が
モダンかも。もしかしたら。
So maybe 人生を送る because it has a little bit more personal will, which is it's not huge yet in Japan. You know, it's not like a Western ideal yet, but it's a little bit more common way of thinking in modern younger Japanese people, so perhaps it's a little bit more common among young people because of that. Stein says, thank you so much for today's stream. Even though I'm not yet finished with Genki, I understand nearly everything here and learn new grammar points too. RTK helped lots with the kanji stuff. All right. Awesome, Stein. I'm happy to hear that the stream helped, even though you're still in Genki. That's awesome. I try to keep it to a level where if some people are hanging out, because we do have a lot of people hanging out who are still in Genki, I try to keep it at a point where those people can sort of at least somewhat follow along. In the beginning of the Quartet 2 lessons, I was cutting most of the furigana, but I decided to leave it all in around lesson 8 or 9 because I realized that half of the people or more that are hanging out actually aren't to this point yet, so it helps you guys out. So I'm happy to hear that it was helpful. You're very welcome, Stein. Thanks for hanging out. Gramp says,
はい。
1年間, okay, it's question time.
はい。
All right, thanks, Gramps.
1年間勉強していながら、まだ漢字を読めることができないの方がいいかな。漢字を分かることができない。
そうだね。漢字を読むことができないの方がいいかな。
そう。
読めない would also be fine、ってことだね。
読むことができない。覚える。
can't memorize. You could either go with memorize or read is what you'd probably want to go with kanji. So 1年間勉強していながらまだ漢字を読むことができない or 読めない or 覚えることができない or 覚えない。So 読むことができない or できない or 読めない。
あ、できない。
何読むことが
できない。
できない or 読めない。I'll put those both. or 覚えることができない。or that would be fine. 覚えられない would also be fine. Either way.
そう。
Those are the ones you want to go with there, Gramps.
漢字を分かるというのはね、ちょっと難しいことですね。
Yeah, don't quite say that. All right, Michael has a cue time as well.
はい。学科と書いてありながら、学科と読み間違っていません？あ、間違えた。あ、科学と、本当だ。間違えちゃったんだ、私。本当だ。科学と読んで、書いてありながら、学科と読み間違っていました。本当だ。さっき何だったっけ？
I thought it was just 学科 and hiragana before. 学科ですか？
学科じゃ、本当だ。じゃあ本当だ。私が間違えちゃったんだ。読み間違えちゃったんだ。
どこの？
さっきの一番、なんだっけ。
Ah, up in here. Okay, okay. So she read yours
そうそう。
学科 as 科学 or the other way around. Okay, yeah. That's an easy one to make a mistake on because it's just the same as that kanji just flipped around, right? Kagaku, you have ka in the front, and then gakka, you have gaku in the front. Like, some of those words are so weird. Like, why do we need both of those? Do we really need both of them? Do we need kagaku and gakka?
でも
Can't there just be one?
恥ずかしいです。
Fair enough.
恥ずかしいで
It's
す。
fine.
あり
Feliz
がとうございます。
cumpleaños. Saludos desde Chile. Greetings from Chile. Happy
チリ
birthday.
からだ。
Oh, I could read it. Thank you very much.
おー。
Terminator 9090.
Chile.
Appreciate that. And Saint with a 4. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. こちらこそ Violin Guy. Thank you very much for hanging out. はい。
はい。
お疲れ様でした、David. Thank you. 無理もありませんよ。そうだよね。
そう、それがさっきの無理ないんだ
You
よ。
learned it. Perfect. You got to use it in the same stream. That'll make it stick.
もう
Awesome. Good job,
使いこ
Michael.
なしてる、ほんと。早いな。
ね。All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I think that's probably everything. That's it. We finished.
あ、
お疲れ様。
ほんと？
うん。はい。
お疲れ様。
お疲れ様みたい
私今
ですね。
全然違うこと考えちゃったんだけど。
はい、どんなこと考えました
発表して
か？
もいい？
どうぞ。
今日アンディちゃんの誕生日じゃないですか。私プレゼントショッピングに行ったんですよ。
はい。
でアンディがね今普通に履いてる靴イメリカの靴ね、イメリカの靴みんな知ってる？イメリカっていうブランドのなんかスケートボードメーカーブランドの靴があるんだけど、それねもしあったら、
はい。
なんかそれプレゼントにも買ってあげようかなと思ってね、その長野の駅前の近くにスケートボード屋さんがあるからそこでなんか見てたの、でそしたらお兄さんがまだお店に入る前にね外からこうやって覗いて靴がなんか見てたの、
はい、
でお兄さんがなんかなんか中に入って見てきなよみたいなこと言ってくれて
やばい
でと思って、いや大丈夫なんですけどこちらにはアメリカの靴はありますかって聞いたの。なんか日本語でなんて言うか分かんなかったからアメリカだと思ったのねでアメリカって言われて多分お兄さんも最初分かんなくて、アメリカアメリカエメリカのことねって言われて、エメリカ
そうエメリカ
そうでエメリカのことねって言われたから今度は私がエメリカって言うんだイメリカはエメリカって言うんだと思って、それアメリカも一緒？
知らん。
エメリカ
と思った。
エメリカだったんですよ。なんかメタリカみたいだなと思ってだけどねその後お兄さんはうちは エメリカの靴置いてないんですよ。スタウトかな、スパウトかなんかなんかスから始まる靴、
なるほど。
スケートボードブランドしか置いてないって言われて、そうなんだと思って、でそれもね覚えようと思ったんだけど、靴の名前エメリカのさインパクトが強すぎて、
はい。要するにはそのスプットブルがみんな知るかどうか知りたいですからね。その長い話はここまで来るように
まあそう、それもね、まあサブだったんだけど、一応こんなことがあったんだって思って、そうみんな、エメリカ、もしエメリカのね靴日本で買いたかったらね、エメリカです。
I don't know if you guys know America or America shoes. Yuki was looking for them at a skateboard shop for my birthday, I guess. And the guy didn't know what they were, but he told her that that's what they sell. Some spush. Starts with an S, short word. That's the type of skateboard gear that they sell. And she's wondering if anyone skateboards and knows what a short word that starts with S. I used to skateboard a lot in high school, but I don't remember anything but Spitfire, which they don't make shoes. So
Spitfire じゃなかったんだよね、なんか。
No idea.
Snoot? Spout か、Stout みたいな。
So if anyone has any ideas what that might have been,
わかんないん
please let
で
us know.
すよ。
I feel like, are Danny, you guys skateboard? I skateboarded a lot in high school, but I haven't skateboarded since then. I'd be curious. If nobody skateboards here, I imagine they're not going to know what it is. But if anyone does, perhaps.
そう。
I skateboarded a little bit while I was in Japan as well, but mostly just in high school.
でも、エメリカの、
Supra.
なんかそんな感じかも。
That could be it.
それさ、S のロゴ
Supra is a car. Skateboards. Shoes. Supra. このクラウンのやつ。
いやー、それかな。なんかボックスには S のね。でもなんかこんな感じの S だったかも。なんかこういうなんか真ん中にこの切れ目が入ってる。
Possibly. It could have been those. Toy Terror. Long time ago, says Zachary. Yes. Same for
なんかこんな感じだったかも。
Could be. I'll have to walk by and see sometime.
でもこれさ、これでスケートボードできる？
I would not want to skateboard in these. They're high tops. I feel very uncomfortable. But some people.
でもこのショートのやつもあるね。なんか可愛いやつだし。
These ones aren't bad. Super EE Avenger skate shoe. Don't look bad. Although it got destroyed. It looks like old. That guy really skated hard in those. Shoes and skateboards, man. It's difficult. It gets expensive.
ね、しかもさ、スケーターの人たちってみんなピッキーですよね。ごめん、悪口。
Specific shoes that I like. That allows me to do kickflips the way I like to do kickflips.
ね。
All right. All right, guys. Well, thank you for hanging out on my birthday. And I hope you learned a little something. And yeah, so I did. 人生を送る and 人生を生きるの違いを学びましたので、
はい、
ありがとうございます。
みんないい人生を生きましょうね。
行きましょ
う。ごめんね、私のつまらないお話聞かせちゃって。
I actually started skateboarding again with some friends a couple days ago. Nice. That's awesome. It's much more fun when you have a couple people to do it with. I never did in high school, so that's why I ended up after 4 years or so stopping, because it was just me. Everyone else was BMXing or basketball. So I was all alone. But then my friend, who I actually played games with today for the first time in like a year, him and I skateboarded while he was living in Japan for like 6 months, 8 months. That was fun. We did some skate parks, hanging out during Hanami in the park, skateboarding, getting yelled at by the old guy who took care of the park, I guess. I don't know. It was fun. Anyway, Andy さん、誕生日おめでとうございます。I watch your videos to learn how to teach Japanese in English. これからも動画を配信頑張ってください。ありがとうございます。トーズさんも頑張ってください。Like I said earlier, check out Tooz's channel. He's making Japanese videos as well. Native Japanese guy making videos in English. So it might be helpful for you guys if you find my videos helpful as well. So check them out. All right, guys. Have a great week. And we will see you next time, hopefully. Next week is lesson 10, part 3 of Quartet. We are very, very close to the end of the book. Almost done with this bad boy.
ねえ。いやもうほんとこいつはほんとバッドボーイよほんと。
Thank you very much, Zachary. Happy birthday again to the March crew. Yes, there's so many people with birthdays in March this year. Happy birthday, Dashiel. Happy birthday to all you guys who are going to be having a birthday like Zachary in a week. And a bunch of other people as well. Happy birthday, guys. All right.
はい、みんなね、良い日を過ごしてください。
Have a good day, guys. Have a good night, good day wherever you are in the world. And we will see you next time. Bye bye. Thank
はい、
you.
また来週。
ありがとうございました。お疲れ様でした。
お疲れ様でした。
Bye bye. Planning to use these books to learn Japanese in 2022? We explain all the grammar from these books and more here on YouTube in detail. And on ToKiniAndy.com, we have tons of extra grammar explanations, interactive practice exercises with Yuki and I, native shadowing exercises so you can get practice speaking even when you're by yourself, tests, and even progress bars to track your progress through the book. We also plan on beginning to add tons of level-appropriate immersion material throughout 2022. We even have a new exclusive community for members where they can ask questions, help each other, and even play silly Japanese word games. Over 1,800 people have already utilized the ToKini Andy and Yuki premium content. Join the community today and kickstart your Japanese learning journey.